decided to discuss 3 signs of red flag in a relationship. Romantic relationship. Relationship has become a problem, most especially to we, the youth nowadays, trying to find out exactly who we are going to get married to, and then we start any relationship thinking that relationship can lead us into marriage, not knowing there are certain things we have to consider before we can start that relationship, or even in that relationship there are certain things that we have to consider before we can continue, or maybe we can end it and then maybe live our life, or maybe go into another relationship and also start working on it. So we are going to discuss 3 signs of red flag, things that when you see in your relationship, things that in a relationship, when you see them, you have to think twice and start working on it. And then these things, people don't really regard it, and it is really affecting us. It is really killing us emotionally. It is making us making wrong choices in the relationship. And sometimes people they have taken relationship for granted, and they are doing it how they want it without asking people who can guide them to do it and do it right, so that relationship can lead them into marriage. So these 3 red flags, anytime you see them in your relationship, make sure you start working on it. If you work on it and it doesn't go well, it is prudent, or it is very important you end that relationship and have a peace of mind, or maybe go and start another relationship. So number 1 is that in a relationship, whenever you find out that there is no trust, that is lack of trust, you have to think twice, because trust in a relationship brings security. It makes you feel secure and safe. So in a relationship with someone and you don't feel that you are secure, you don't feel that this person, I trust him or her, there is this kind of unnecessary jealousy, because you are not sure whether the person is cheating, the person might cheat, or the person might even do something without your notice. So whenever there is lack of trust, you have problem, you don't feel secure, you are not okay. And in a relationship that there is no trust, there is unnecessary jealousy. And again, the person that you are dating that you don't trust, that person do not seems to be someone who is reliable, someone who you can rely on the future, because you don't trust that person. You don't have any trust in that person. So on any day, anytime you are in that relationship, you start to play mind games to find out as to whether the person really loves you and wants to spend the rest of his or her life with you. So number 1 red flag is lack of trust. If you don't trust that person, if that person do not also trust you, start thinking twice. If it is possible, start working on it and build trust, because trust cannot come in a day. It is gradually built. It is gradually built in any situation. So in any relationship and you have problem with your trust, think twice and start working on it. If you work on it and things seems not to be working out, it is high time you talk to yourself and find another solution to that problem. Another red flag in a relationship, romantic relationship, is poor communication. Communication, they say, is one of the pillars of long and lasting relationship, because in a relationship there is no communication, things started coming down because there is no sharing of ideas, most especially in a distance relationship. Wherever there is poor communication, there is always a problem, because you don't really find out, you don't really know what is happening to your partner, wherever he or she is. There is no communication. And even if there is communication, that is not proper communication. What I mean by proper communication is communication that really seeks to give both of you loving, understanding. Whenever you talk to yourself, you feel love, you feel understanding, and you always wish to talk to that person. But if you are in a relationship where there is poor communication, and then any time that you guys are even communicating, it is full of fight, it is full of hatred. Even if there is problem on the drawing board, that there is the need for you guys to talk about it and then start finding solution to that. No, you start to argue, you start to fight, and then that person that you are always arguing, that you are always fighting, in your heart you think you love that person, but in that communication you don't communicate lovely. You don't listen to both of you guys. You are always arguing, you are always fighting. Whenever there is a problem on the drawing board, you don't think about how you guys are going to find solution to that. The only thing you can do is to argue and insult yourself, and then that thing just ends. and another day you continue that relationship. You have to think twice, because what you do in your romantic relationship is what you're also going to do in your marriage. If you do not change, that is the same thing you are going to do in your marriage. Poor communication. If there is a problem on the drawing board, if there is a problem at hand, there is a need for you guys to solve it. Instead of solving the problem, you decide to insult both of you, you insult yourself, and then you leave the problem at hand. You decided not to talk about it again. That is a red flag in a relationship. Another red flag in the relationship is lack of trust. Lack of respect. You both of you don't respect yourself, or maybe your partner do not respect you. Respect, they say, is reciprocal. When you give it in, you receive it. So in every romantic relationship that you feel that your partner do not respect you, that you feel that your partner do not regard you as someone who you are his or her lover, the person is not someone that you have to build your life. You would have to build your entire life around that person, because the person do not respect you. So respect is very important. Then sometimes the issue of respect comes in when the person you are dealing with, or maybe the person you are in a relationship, is immature. He or she is not matured. Anything that he or she does is they do it just like that. They don't respect. They don't really think about the emotional side of their actions, what their partner is going to think about them. All they think is their action, what they can do to make them free. So in a relationship, that's the person that you are building a relationship with do not respect you. Trust me, think about it twice and start working on it, because if you do not work on it right now, you might regret in the future. Number one, like I said, these 3 red flags in the relationship that when you see, it's either you start working on it or you begin to think twice, and then maybe you can find your way out and building another relationship. Number one is lack of trust. If the person do not trust you, if you have trust issue problem, think twice. If possible, work on it. And then the other one is poor communication. Communication is a very pillar in every long and lasting relationship. A relationship that can lead to marriage. Communication is very vital. It is very key in it. You communicate, you share your thoughts, you talk to yourself, things that you guys are really going through. If there is no communication, things will not work by all means, because you don't hear from your partner, most especially, like I said, in long distance relationship, that there is poor communication is a big problem, and it's a red flag in a romantic relationship. The last but not the least is that there is no respect. You don't respect yourself at all. That is also another sign of red flag in the relationship. So these are the 3 signs that I would want to talk to you in this video. When you see them in your relationship, start working on it if possible. Thank God if you work on it and things begins to work right. Hallelujah. But if you start working on it, trying to push hard to make sure that things will turn out so that you can have a peaceful relationship, and things are not working out, you can even consult maybe your counselor, your pastor, or whoever you think is ahead of you when it comes to relationship and marriage stuff, can advise you to know what you do. The person does not respect you. There is poor communication, and there is lack of trust. You don't trust yourself. It will be very possible, or if I'm not afraid, things will not work if you don't trust the person you are in a relationship with. Because when there is lack of trust, there is mind game, unnecessary jealousy. You try to find out who the person is speaking with whenever he or she gets a call, or maybe you don't see that person as someone who is reliable, who you can rely for the future, who anytime you are thinking about marriage, you think about that person. If you don't trust that person, how can you think about this person when it comes to marriage? So trust issues, poor communication, and lack of respect. These are the red flags. When you see it in your relationship, start working on it if possible. And if things are not working, try to consult people who are ahead of you, or maybe your pastor, like I said, your mom, your dad, or maybe someone who you think can help you to manage that situation. So thank you very much for watching this video. Like I said, if you are new here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Limpopo GA on YouTube, and hit the notification bell so that any educational video that we put on this platform, you have your share in it.